Hi, everybody. Welcome into Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. We're talking about a couple of incidents that happened on Monday, December 26th, here in Terrebonne Parish. And here to talk about it is First Lieutenant Blake Tabor, who the PIO, the Public Information Officer. We have a shooting and we have an arson that have happened. So can you fill us in on what's happening?
Sure. We'll start off with the arson, if that's okay. The early morning hours, Monday morning, shortly after midnight, the Bayou Cane Fire Department responded to an address on Enterprise Drive in reference to a structure fire. They were quickly able to determine that that was an unoccupied structure. It was a building that was under construction with the plans of it being a preschool. Once they extinguished the fire, it became pretty apparent that there was some evidence there that indicated that the fire may have been started purposely. So at that point, our patrol officers responded, and then we ultimately obtained an investigator in arson.
Okay, so that's where you're at right now.
That's correct.
Yeah, because I would travel there to go work out, and was like, they had a fire. And when you find out it's arson, it goes to a whole different level.
Absolutely. Now, if you keep in mind, that particular night was extremely cold, and again, we're not making any excuses or giving anyone the right to do that, but we believe that someone entered the building under what circumstances, we don't exactly know, but taking into account the weather, that may have been something that happened.
Trying to get out of the weather, right?
That's correct. And that fire may have been started there to keep warm. All those facets are under investigation.
But again, that's preliminary, so
Absolutely.
we don't know for sure right there. But yeah, that does make it a little different, and preschool for that fact too. All right, the second one was a shooting. It happened the same day then.
Absolutely. So shortly after 5 p.m., we received reports of gunfire in the 7100 block of Main Street, which is on Main Street directly between Jennings Lane and St. Charles Street. So near the school board office, for those that are familiar with that. Call of a shooting that happened. 2 males were occupying a vehicle. When our patrol officers responded, they found a vehicle in the ditch near that intersection. And of course, they made contact with 2 victims. During the course of the investigation, we were able to obtain some video surveillance footage, which you obviously are seeing now, of 2 people that are obviously persons of interest in the case, and we're doing what we can at this point to try to identify those 2 perpetrators.
And looked like both of them were armed.
It does appear, if you review the video and you sort of slow that down, it does appear that both males are in possession of handguns.
So the victims in this case were in a vehicle.
That's correct.
It looked like these guys were not in a vehicle, they were standing.
That's correct. Every bit of evidence we have shows that the suspects were on foot in the area. We're still trying to determine through video surveillance and other means where exactly they came from, but that'll remain to be seen.
That's a pretty good shot of those 2 guys. Do you guys have an idea of who you're looking for?
Well, you know, we're constantly getting information. Now, whether they have been identified yet, it's not been made aware to me. But I think that with the quality of that particular video, it would be very shocking if we didn't have some names on those people very soon.
Do you have any reasons that do you think you know why these all that's random?
Yeah, I mean, you know, at this point, it's all under investigation. We don't know the link, if there is any, at this point. What is important is that no one was injured during the course of this. The vehicle was struck several times, so, you know, we're doing our due diligence to make sure that we're exhausting all investigative means when it comes to that, because it's not just about arresting the perpetrators. It's about making sure that the evidence is paramount in this case, and we can able to link this and convict these people.
So obviously you guys, I'm sure, are looking for any information. Call you guys Crime Stoppers? Or
Absolutely. So anyone that has any information on the case or is able to identify those 2 perpetrators, we're asked to contact Bayou Crime Stoppers. And you see here on the board, it's 1-800-743-7433. Or they can always contact the Sheriff's Office at 876-2500. We urge everyone to remember that this can be done anonymously, and also tipsters can be rewarded financially for any information that leads to a conviction.
Okay, so Jen, can we roll that in one more time? So yeah, now you know the phone number to call. Obviously you can call you guys, but if you have any information, and here's a real good look at it. It's the old Burkwall Apartments across the street. Looks like they're running towards where the old There's a bar there at one time.
Yep.
And you see both of them are armed. So obviously, this is not something you want to take care of yourself. You want to make sure you alert the authorities, and you don't want to go be a hero.
Absolutely. Look, we're considering these perpetrators armed and dangerous, and you know the portion of the video that you saw, you can actually see the vehicle crashing into the ditch. So it could have been a very volatile situation, not only for the people directly involved, but innocent bystanders as well.
Sure, sure. Yeah, when you start firing bullets, and nobody knows where that's going to go.
Absolutely.
The people that were in the car are okay.
They are okay. No one was struck or injured as a result. Only property damage at this point. So we're hoping that is a prelim to make these offenders come forward. You know, they didn't do anything that...
It's not going to be murder, right?
That's correct. They didn't do anything that can't be resolved at this point. So in order to extinguish the situation, you know, that's our hope.
And that's one of our things. And I don't want to, you know, jump to any conclusions, but you also don't want somebody taking the law into their own hands, right? A vigilante thing, like I'm going to get these guys back for what they did. So you want to stop it. And again, for those guys that are in the video, it'd probably be best if their family or they turn themselves in.
Absolutely.
As opposed to having somebody who might have been in a car go looking for them.
And look, and it's the same situation as always, right? We always want the public's assistance. And, you know, to a certain degree, we think the public has a job or a duty to provide this information to us, but in no way, shape, or form are we wanting anyone to take matters into their own hands.
Right.
That's our area of expertise, and we'd like for them to let us do our job.
Yeah, I mean, like those guys that kind of turn themselves in. Obviously, a real good shot of who those guys are, so it won't be too far. Well, Blake, sure appreciate the information, man. Thank you, and stay safe out there.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll be right back with more Bayou Time after this.